Hey everyone, welcome back, and I hope you are enjoying these videos. Today we're doing something really awesome, and it's a Pixie haircut. I don't want to just leave the women out because I know a lot of women watch my channel as well. So this is basically going to be like a 6 to 8 month period, maybe even longer, almost a year of growing out this particular hairstyle. And if you've had a Pixie haircut before, you know, it can be somewhat challenging if you are growing your hair out, simply because it just may not look how you like it from the beginning. So here you are, let's just say month one, right after a short Pixie haircut. The back's clean, sides are tapered, the top has about maybe an inch and a half of length. At this stage, things are just simple. Like, styling's low maintenance. You may start to get that urge to like, oh, what's going to look like, you know, in a month, 2 months from now. But don't worry, just use maybe, you know, one of my hair powders or something just to shape it, and just let it do its thing at this point. This is really the foundation of the style. Now, let's just say this is month 2 or maybe month 3, and the hair is already grown out. I'd say about a half an inch, maybe to an inch overall. And it really depends, because some people, their hair grows quicker than others. It's just, that's how it is, right? Hair grows faster on some heads than other heads. So it just really depends on how fast your hair grows. But this is where people start to get tempted to cut it. And you gotta like hang in there. This is where you have to really start to play around with styling it, right? Maybe brush it over or tuck it behind the ear. Just do not, especially if you want to grow it out, do not cut it. You're gonna get really tempted, but it's all about being patient. And you know, if you need to, maybe get a trim around the neckline, but don't cut it at this point. Now, you're gonna hit a period where it's gonna start to, and this is really for someone who's got straighter hair, whether it's fine hair or thicker hair. It's gonna almost, after like maybe the 3rd or 4th month, you're gonna start to be like, well, where's the length? Because it's gonna start to grow almost like internally and go through like it's getting a lot thicker and heavier phase before it starts to really start to get that length. So it's going to be like okay, my hair looks like a big like mop on my head. What do I do? Well, once again, it comes down to really you trying to adjust to the style and whatever you can do to tame it, right? Maybe you tuck it behind your ear more often, you slick it over to the side, try different phases and try what you can do to tame it and make it less poofy, because the hair is going to start to get kind of like a poofy type of stage where it gets a little bit more voluminous and fuller, all right? Now, let's just say you're on to month 5 or so, right? Another 2 months go by. Now is when you're going to start to see like a bit of a growth spurt, so where your hair all of a sudden, it looks like it's like in a shorter to mid-length bob out of nowhere. And you may start to see some pieces, you know, flipping up a little bit. You may start to, it may take on its own shape that you're like, wow, I kind of like this. This is where you may have to start using a brush, like a round brush. I have my ionic blow dryer. I have my ceramic ionic round brushes that you can use. I would say go with a 2.5 inch barrel. That's the larger one of the two I have. And just start to experiment with blow drying it, especially if you're getting pieces that are flipping out, that aren't being as smooth. This is where you need to kind of start taking control and embrace that longer hair. It may start to lose some volume because it's getting a bit longer, but you can always use products like Tidal Wave or something. All right. Now, this is where your hair is starting to really take on a shape of, all right, you officially have a lob, right? A longer or longish bob haircut. Now, this is where maybe you incorporate a sweeping fringe. This is where, you know, do you part it down the middle? Do you part it on the side? You could actually really make this particular length look amazing on you. You know, maybe you use a curling iron to create some waves. You can use Tidal Wave, and maybe, you know, the blow dryer I have, it comes with a diffuser. If you want to get a haircut, you can maybe get a trim to soften up and clean up the dead ends. But just express to the stylist that you're trying to grow your hair out. Do not take off a lot of length. You still are in the growing process. You just want to clean up the dead ends. Maybe add some light layers if you want to have some movement and shape to it. But now you're going to start to see some noticeable differences. So here is where, now your hair is getting a bit longer, and you may say, okay, I can only take another 2 months of this. This is where you're going to start to dramatically see that you can start putting maybe in a ponytail. And again, it goes through a phase where it doesn't seem like much is really happening. But in reality, your hair is getting heavier. It's getting thicker. This is where getting that trim right before this phase is a good point for you to determine whether you want to go longer or you want to leave it at this length moving forward, and you just get it shaped up from here. Maybe you can start, experimenting with some colors. Maybe go like a darker chestnut brown, or introduce a little bit more of a chocolate type tone into your hair, especially if you don't have any grays. But you have a lot of options from here. Now, this next slide, let's just say you want to keep growing your hair longer, and you want to incorporate a fringe to it. Here you go. Well, now you've got a fringe or soft bangs. You could actually have these just fall forward like this. You could sweep it over to the side if you want. This is where the hair is going to be, let's just say it's maximum length past shoulders. This is it. You've grown your hair out. It's taken like a year, maybe a year and 3 months or so, but you've committed and you've been very, very patient for this. Now it's all about maintaining this look, getting a trim, keeping up with, using the right products that I have, like shampoos, 25 spray, my sleek serum. This is like the longest you want it. You can put a ponytail in it, but this is probably, again, over like a 12-month, maybe 14, 15-month period of growing out a shorter pixie haircut. Just be patient, find someone or continue with your current stylist. Have them help you along this journey of growing your hair out. You don't have to get a haircut every, month or two, maybe just one cleanup, and you should be good. If you want to purchase any of my products, use code YouTube20. That's YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. Let me know if you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.